If you've never had a sweet and savory sandwich like this before, you're missing out. Crispy bacon, black forest ham, melted Gruyere cheese, and homemade strawberry red currant jam all layered between slices of buttery brioche French toast. Let's make it. We'll start with the bacon. I'm using thick cut bacon because it gives you a better bite and more texture on the sandwich. I'll lay it out in a sheet pan and bake it until it's done the way I like it, with some pieces a little crispy and some a little chewy. For the bread, I'm using thick slices of homemade brioche. I'll link my brioche recipe at the end of the video. It's a simple bread to make, and it makes a huge difference in a sandwich like this. Now that the bacon's cooking and the bread is sliced, we can make the custard. I'm using whole eggs for this, and if you can, it's worth letting them come up to room temperature first, since they'll mix together a little easier. To the eggs, I'll add some cinnamon, a little sugar, vanilla, and heavy cream. Then we'll whisk everything until it's smooth and combined. Once that's mixed, I'll dip the brioche a few times to make sure that custard gets all the way through the bread and not just on the surface. That extra time in the custard throughout the bread gives the French toast a richness you just don't get when it's only coated on the outside. Next, we'll get a cast iron pan heating up and add a little butter. I use cast iron for just about everything because it holds heat really well and it gives you great color on foods like this. Once the pan is hot and the butter's melted, we'll add the French toast and cook it until it's golden brown on both sides. And this happens pretty quickly, so make sure you keep an eye on it. One thing to keep in mind is we're going to flash these in the oven later to melt the cheese and warm the ham, so they don't need to be completely finished at this stage. Between the carryover cooking and a few minutes in the oven, they'll continue cooking and end up right where we want them. Once they're done, I'll transfer them to a paper towel lined plate for a minute. This helps absorb any excess butter and keeps the French toast from getting soggy while we finish putting everything together. The last thing we need to do is slice up some Gruyere cheese and get it ready for the sandwich. Gruyere is one of my favorite cheeses for something like this because it melts beautifully and has a rich, nutty flavor. If you've had Swiss cheese before, it's similar, just a little bit more flavorful. It's great for sandwiches like this. Now that we're all prepped out, we can start building the sandwich. I'll lay the French toast out on a sheet pan and spread the jam on first. Make sure you take it all the way to the edges on both slices so you get a little bit in every bite. Then I'll top each slice with Gruyere cheese and slide it into the oven to start melting. And I like to use the broiler as well just to get the cheese melted quickly. Once the cheese is melted, we'll pull it from the oven and finish building the sandwich. I'll add the black forest ham first and then the bacon. I like to layer the bacon in both directions because it gives a little bit more height to the sandwich and gives you a better bite. Then we'll top it with a second slice of French toast. And you've got yourself one incredible breakfast sandwich here. Everything really comes together in this sandwich. You've got crispy, smoky bacon, black forest ham, sweet strawberry and red currant jam, rich melted Gruyere, all layered between two slices of buttery brioche French toast. It's the perfect balance of sweet and savory, and every bite has a little bit of everything. If this is your first time watching, this is part of my weekly sandwich series, where I make a different sandwich every week and show you exactly how I put it all together. If you enjoy food like this, we'd love to have you subscribe and come gather at our table. I'll catch you on the next one.